What's up, guys? I skipped last week, felt kind of bad, so I figured I better do a live this week. And I'm only mildly late over my 8 o'clock normal start time. Eric is in the house. We got blue shirt Buddha. There's Billy Bob with his new Toyota. There's Craig checking in. I'm in reviews is here. Billy Bob is 86, and it looks pretty clean from the picture you showed us. It looks really clean. So Bobby Legs is checking in. How many world timers is enough? Somebody know the answer to that? One world timer. You are wrong, sir. Hey, David. Squares. Yeah, I pretty much have all the metal squares I want. I got this one too, but I was messing with the bracelet. I was trying to figure out a way to adapt a Uncle Seiko bracelet onto this metal case. So, because the factory bracelet is okay, but when you go and spend $150 on a metal case for this thing, you kind of want a nicer bracelet too. And I might even talk to the owner about maybe doing some different finishing on this. I don't know if this can be brightened up a little bit, because it doesn't match any bracelet. You're never going to get it to match a bracelet. So see if we can figure that out a little bit. But in the meantime, I might see about, getting this leather strap on there that Eric over at EA Leather Goods made. I think it would look good on that. And then maybe do a color overlay in there. Something like that. Playing with the world timers. All right, let me look at some of these questions here. Let's see. Yo, thanks to your video, Seiko Sumo versus Turtle, I recently am a proud owner of the Sumo. Freaking love it. One love from Pensacola, Florida. Hey, that is awesome. You chose well. I mean, there was really no wrong choice there, but as far as finishing goes and being like super stand-alone unique, the Sumo definitely fits that bill. Let's see. John is asking, hey, Rob, please share your thoughts on the Seamaster 300. I'm hoping to purchase one soon. Well, let me grab it. Hold on a second. I have not worn it in a little while. If you're going to buy, in my opinion, and this is so subjective because there's so many different really good luxury or entry luxury watches out there, right? But in my opinion, this one checks so many boxes. Omega did such a great job with the construction of this and the materials used. So it's hard to try to argue another model against this, if that makes sense. I feel like this one just kind of makes sense. On top of that, it's a freaking Omega Seamaster 300. So it didn't even need to make sense. It was already super awesome. And then they put like a killer movement in it, a ceramic dial, ceramic bezel. Yeah, they upsized it a little bit. And I don't know if, I think I've done a full video on this, haven't I? The crown is like super tight. There's like no wiggle to that either. I mean, it is a very robust, very well-built watch. And it looks amazing on wrist. So it's I mean, it feels of quality like you would expect it to. So if you can pick one up for around 4-ish, give or take a couple $100, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a better, respected, branded $4,000 diver, if that makes sense. So makes me want to, just talking about it makes me want to just wear it like a lot more. But I did wear, I got to show you guys this. I did wear my Tudor. I haven't cleaned it up, so it's all smudgy and dirty. But I did wear this yesterday. Check this out. I don't even know how I did that, but I was helping a buddy lift his new Toyota Tundra. This is unlike me. This is not. I mean, sure, on my watch that's getting pretty old, my Orange Monster, but on a newer watch, I mean, I haven't even owned this watch, but I think maybe a month, and I already got it scratched up. I don't think I have anything scratched up on the case, though. I got to find my cloth here. Do a quick inspection. Yeah, I don't see anything. So I think I just got it on the clasp. Yeah, I don't see anything on the watch head, so here's what it is, man. It is what it is. I could probably clean that clasp up, but I'm not going to. I'm going to probably just wear it more. The Tudor, I knew all along that I was going to scratch up a little bit. The Omega, probably a little less likely to even scratch up just because of where the finishing is on it and everything. But, I'm going to wear that too. Yeah, Clayton, man, we got to wear these darn things, man. What are we saving them for, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go out there and like intentionally damage it, but I'm very conscious of the watch that's on my wrist, and typically I would take it off. But I just in the moment, I grabbed some bolts, and it's a brand new truck, and it's up on the lift, and I was helping my buddy Turbo out a little bit with a couple of bolts here and there, just, button up the lift on his new Tundra, and I must have rubbed the clasp against something. So it's not deep gouges or anything like that. It'd be super easy to clean up, but whatever. Aaron? Horology and sanity aren't scratches referred to as patina. I think patina, I think you can really only use the word patina if it's actually got some age. That thing's a month old. That is pre-loved, I think, at this point, or possibly neglected. I'm not sure. Yeah, John, that's right. You got to wear it, scratch it up. Let's see. Dane, what are you wearing? The only reason so Horology Insanity says pre-loved, ha ha ha. The only reason I say that, it's kind of like an old joke. I went to a used car dealer, and I was checking out a Volkswagen Mark V R32, which they only came with a DSG in that year, but it had the VR6 in it. So and it was funny because like the tires were kind of worn, the brakes were a little low. It had like a mismatched coil or plug wire or something. Yeah, plug wire. And there was all kinds of weird things. And it was a certified pre-owned, and then they called it pre-loved. And I went and took it for a test drive, and it was awesome. I love my Volkswagens, but it was it was just kind of funny to me, like, because they let me take it for a test drive, and it was on fumes. It had no gas, and I'm not stopping to put gas in it, so I was kind of hoping I'd run out of gas. So I'm ripping around checking the thing out, and I'm like, yeah, this thing's pre-loved, all right. You mean it's beat to piss? So when I say pre-loved, what I mean is it got beat on a little bit. So that's fine. Some of my watches are going to get beat on a little bit. Yeah, Young, you're right. Patina is more of a caused by nature sort of thing, not from owner neglect or abuse. Yeah, I think even the wiper blades, it had like two different brands of wiper blades on it and stuff. It just, used car sales is hilarious that they put pre-loved on there. Like, what does that mean? That means somebody hacked it up and didn't take care of it properly. That's why I buy, well, I shouldn't say I buy new cars now. I just did buy a used car, but. So I am having a sip. Listen, I was not going to have a drink, but when I got home, there was you want another good story? When I got home today after work, I usually do my backyard sweep for golf balls, and I was picking up golf balls in the backyard, and I came face to face with a skunk. That's right, a full grown adult skunk. And it was hanging out by my grill, my charcoal grill, and it kind of poked its head up, non confrontational, and just kind of looked at me. And I slowly backed away, saying, "Hey, cool, man, I'm cool, you're cool. Let's just like keep some social distance here." So I'm backing away. And that's when I realized that that skunk got one of its paws caught in a larger rat trap that I have. It's like a mouse trap, but it's a larger one. It's a rat trap. And I was catching red squirrels with it. I had no intention of catching squirrels. Well, it got caught in that. And I don't know how long it's been in there. So I walked away and I went and did some other things. And for one reason or another, I don't know if it gave itself a heart attack or something like that, it ended up dying. But so, like, part of the reason why I was a little late on my starting of the live stream is because I had to go dig a hole and then I had to get that skunk out of that trap and then take it over and bury it because it's kind of, they must release their gland a little bit when they fully pass away. So anyway, there's my little skunk story today. So yeah, I think I've kind of earned myself a little tequila. Oh man, Billy Bob, that's funny. I actually kind of thought of that. How hilarious would it be to have like a skunk fur hat and just be like no big deal about it. But no, I can give you the coordinates for it if you want to come get it. It's a shallow grave. Hey, check out what I got in the mail today. Hodinky sent me something. Has anybody else got this? I don't even remember saying anything about to Hodinky to send me anything. So let's open this up with my Billy Bob knife. Yeah, we're gonna do some skunk shots. So Bobby Legs, I do remember when I was in elementary school that the teacher had brought in this couple that had like for some reason they had certain kinds of animals, and they did have a skunk that had its glands removed. So it only kind of stunk. It still had an odor to it, but it didn't full on reek. So yeah, we got to pet it and everything. It was pretty nuts, and it acted like a cat. So hey, all things random. Tequila question mark. I'm more of a whiskey guy. I'm out of whiskey, and I have to say, there's some really good tequilas out there. I'm not drinking a really good one. I'm just drinking a good one. I think it's called Hornitos, but I mixed it with some like limoncello or something. It's just a lemon tequila drink. But there's like the Don Julio and then the Clase Azul. I think everybody that's ever tried that will attest that the Clase Azul, if you're a whiskey guy, you will actually like that tequila. It has almost like a sweet whiskey taste to it. Let's see what they sent me. They sent me this postcard thing. Volume 6. Where's volume 1 through 5? I didn't know there was other volumes. I don't know what's going on. Do you guys have this? Oh, Craig. They're out. Yeah, I think, oh, I didn't even cut that. Hey, Billy Bob, if I send this back to you, will you sharpen it for me? Because I've been too lazy to sharpen it. So the tequila, because it's all from Mexico, I think there's a shortage of it pretty much all over. And then, oh, check this out. This is a pretty cool catalog. I mean, how big does my channel have to be? I guess I never did any like written reviews or anything. I was gonna say, but How big does my channel have to be that I can put out my own catalog? Hodinky's huge, though. Nice. Thanks, Hodinky. That's got some nice weight to it, too. Yeah, so, yeah, anyway, I started to say my wife went to the grocery store, and she said pretty much a lot of the liquor is a little low, at least at my store. I don't know if that's elsewhere, so I guess maybe a good time to quit drinking. Let's see. Rio, no. Dang it, I keep forgetting about that. Will you email me that, please? Or maybe you already have. Email it again to me, please, because I keep forgetting to send a message to them. Or maybe they'll work with me. If not, then I'll just buy some and bring some in. So, yeah, that's what's crazy about tequila is it takes, Dustin, you're 100% right. When you research it, go watch a documentary on how tequila is made. It'll blow your mind, like how actually like a $30 bottle of tequila, like how do they even do that? Because the plant has to grow for like 9 years before they harvest it. And when they harvest it, it's not like they get to, it doesn't rejuvenate. They completely harvest it. So it's pretty crazy. I'm not going to write. I used to write a lot when I was younger, but I don't like to write anymore. Hey, Floridian's here. Hey guys, check this out too, because I already opened this, so I'm going to share it. This is a package that my buddy Homer sent over. So here's I'm assuming it's called a Yama, or is it a Yama? I think it's Yama. Almost looks like it's on a Havison strap, but it's not. It has that look to it though. I think this one is, yeah, this one's quartz as well. I'm trying to catch up on some video reviews. You guys have no idea how far behind I am. Actually does not have a ton of weight to it. It's not very heavy. Oh no, don't even tell me that, Sir Maxwell. No coffee crisis. I do not. Oh, that's going to be a bummer. I know everyone. Oh, that thing's like. Oh, it's stuck because it's held down. That's part of the crown system, isn't it? Would you guys tell me that before I try to rip it off? Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. That could be engineered better. Yeah, for the Yama fans, I guess, but I don't know. I get it, but no, I guess not for me. I'm sure it's a nice watch, but that's a pass for me. Ooh, check this one out. You guys recognize that emblem? Check that out. Yeah, I rock the watch. I'm kind of with you, but you know what? It's crazy thin. I like some things about it, but I do not like this this thing. This needs to be different. I don't like it. Yes, this is Orion. Of course, it's an Orion. So here's the deal. I have some thoughts on the Orion brand. I think Nick is a great guy and he's doing some awesome things. And the Calamity it's a really good diver. It's been a long time since I've checked one out. So, oh wow. This is actually a really nice diver. It has been a very long time. But it's not, I kind of remember, there's not enough traction on the bezel. The bezel action is great. I feel like there's not enough traction on the bezel. I love the bezel design, the way the triangles are layered up there. I love the pop of Orange Second's hand, the massive crown that he carried over from the previous models. I mean, this crown is like, it's got to be over 8mm, and this is not a thick watch. No, it's close. 7.85. But it's a thin watch, so it's crazy thin. And the case back is actually contoured. See, it has a little bit of contour. So it wears on wrist really good. This is a phenomenal watch, really. And Nick is one of the people that has always aspired to do as much as he can. Like, he assembles them in the USA, but it's I think it's his aspirations, much like Cameron Weiss, to have like more and more of the product actually made in the USA. So hopefully Nick can. I think what would be really cool is if some of these younger guys, like say Nick and Cameron, if they were to collaborate. And I know that could be not good potentially, but in my mind, I'm like, with Nick's design capability and Cameron's manufacturing ability, and then maybe toss in, oh shoot, what's his name? What's the other USA made one down in Michigan here? Dang it, I'm drawing a blank. Help me out here, guys. Can't remember the name of it. There's another watch company downstate Michigan. It's Pelton. Thank you, Clayton. Can you imagine those guys? And they're all young. It's Denny, I think, is his name. So if you had Denny, Cameron, and Nick all collaborate on a project, I'll you know what? Before they even gave me any rendering, if all three of those guys were to work together, I would probably, because between Denny and Cameron, they have the manufacturing capability. And then, no Shinola. No. Wreck the watch. How dare you? I don't have an issue with Shinola. I've owned a bunch of them, but hello, Bobby Smith. So, but I would 100% be on board with if they could do as much as possible, actually manufactured in the USA and have a killer design. And let's be honest, most of us want a diver, but if they can't produce a diver on the first one, do a killer field watch. I like the Weiss field watch, but it needs to evolve. It's time for it to evolve. You can't just keep that same design. It's time to evolve. And I think that evolution would be killer if you incorporated either Nick and Denny or some other USA company. Maybe deal with one that does better with marketing or something. I'm not sure, but I could get behind that easily. All right. Swiss 88 just picked up the Longines flagship Heritage. That is a killer watch. That would be nice. Calling the Shinola 100% American made. And again, Shinola listen, they were totally capable of being on the forefront of that. And they kind of like toyed with it. And as far as I know, I think they've kind of pulled back and are not even pushing in that direction anymore. Some of their leather goods and all that other stuff is more USA made, but their watches is a complete missed opportunity. So, oh, Dane's teasing us. Dane's got the inside scoop with Zelos, so he's in the know and he's flaunting it. So you picked up the Hulk ISL 21. I've seen. So I think Mark has posted up some pictures on Instagram of that thing, and it looks really good in natural light. See, Clayton, yeah, they're outsourcing that too. So it's just a missed opportunity. Now they're just exploiting Southeast Michigan or people in Michigan for being kind of like how a state or a city or whatever will support their team, right? It's almost like they're just doing that. They're just supporting their team. Well, that's fine if you can sustain a business that way, but I suspect it doesn't have long-term stability with just that supporting my team sort of thing if they're not fully committed to the project. I do like, and maybe I will bring one in, I do like the Runwell design. I like the K-shape, I like the wire lugs, and now they have an automatic, so it's pretty cool. I like that design. I just wish it was more USA made. Daniel just picked up the titanium G-Shock Square. Did you get the camo or the all black one? The V-Twin just picked up the Ocean, Save the Ocean Seiko Turtle that already arrived. Yeah, Craig, you didn't know that? They got a Runwell on them. Oh, Craig's going to go. Nope, Craig, you can't buy anything, can you? It's August. Yeah, so you ordered it, or did you already get the black titanium? $1,000 new in box. That is a killer price. Oh, you guys didn't know there was a Runwell automatic? All right, let's all go buy Runwell automatics. Yeah, this is up there. This is probably number 2. I think I like my Bling Master the most, and then this guy when it comes to squares. Tank is hunting Seiko Monsters. Craig gave up. Dane's fully committed to the Zelos. Rock the Watch still waiting on the Troska Free Diver. And the mint green, yeah. Are you going to get this steel bezel, or are you going to get the black bezel? Will I do a review on the Orion? Absolutely, I will do a review on the Orion. I'm going to probably put the bracelet on it, get it all sized up, maybe wear it a little bit, because Homer sent it over, and Homer doesn't care if I wear his watches, so I'm actually kind of excited to wear this. But I feel like it might feel a little too small for me now, and it is a little bit smaller watch. I mean, there it is next to the Seamaster, which is kind of more my preferred size, but this Orion is a really nice watch for sure. Let's see. Rio's asking, how many Citizen ProMaster Aqualand timepieces do I have? Well, I only have the one. I have the Hyper Aqualand is the only one I have right now. I'll probably go. For some reason, the Citizen is one of the watches that I actually hunt for when I have like a little bout. I don't want to say I have insomnia, but sometimes I'll have a hard time sleeping, and it's like intermittent. So when that kicks up, it seems like my late night purchases are really weird Citizen ProMaster Aqualands, Hyper Aqualands, stuff like that. So next time I get a case of the no sleepies, I might pick up some more Citizen. Let's see. Quintin, thoughts on the Black Bay 41 after wearing it for a while? I'm still digging it. I feel like it's maybe I don't even want to say this because it's going to sound messed up. I feel like maybe it's a touch too big, but then it's just not. Like it's kind of the perfect size for me because I like that little bit of wrist presence, and it definitely has that. Where because I think if we were to go smaller with it, then it's basically like I had the Oyster Perpetual 39, which I ended up feeling like that watch was too small. So if I were to go with the Rolex Explorer, I would probably feel the same way about that because even that OP39 I had was the white dial, which looks a little bit bigger being a white dial. So, speaking of which, you know what would be really cool is if Tudor did a white dial. Tudor needs to do some white dial. Oh, they need to do the Black Bay 58 in a white dial. I'm all about that white dial. So anyway, that's a keeper. I'm digging that. I mean, it's a keeper for a bunch of reasons. One, I absolutely love the watch. It's so well constructed, and it fits my size profile and everything. But also, I bought it full. Well, I saved 10%, so I bought it just under full retail. So, and I would take probably like an $800 or $900 hit on that if I were to sell it, and I'm just not going to do that. So, it's a keeper for many reasons, but that's one of them. I don't want to lose that money. All right, let's see. Do you feel the king turtles are worth the extra money? Simple answer, yes. The king turtle is probably the only turtle that I would actually own. They are that good. If you could find one that lines up really good and everything, it's actually really nice. Lyndon says, Rob, I'm looking for an end game watch at around 2,000. You have had way more past your wrist than I have. Any end game, like you want to get one watch and just actually be done? You're gonna hate this, but Lyndon, do you use the iPhone? No, Craig, I want a white dial diver or something, or just a regular. see. Yeah, Jabaz. Hopefully, I'll talk to John over at the watch gauge, and hopefully, I'll get some NTHs in. Bobby Smith picked up the Tudor Ranger. Man, I've toyed with picking up the Tudor Ranger myself because the last time I was in a Tudor authorized dealer, they were discounting that thing heavily to the point where it was hard not to buy it. Ronan says there's no such thing as an end game. Oh, you're using Android. So I was gonna say just get the Apple Watch if you have the iPhone, honestly, and just move on. Just be done with watches. But if you're looking for an end game watch and you want entry level, $2,000, $2,000. If you're a flipper, you're gonna buy these and you're gonna end up selling them. But maybe try the Zen 104. That keeps you under the 2,000. There's some Oris that you could potentially look at. I don't know. You're kind of screwed. There's no end game watch. So I think, yeah, there's some Hamilton out there that you could try. I'm trying to think more of like because if 2000 is like your max and that's like a stretch, you haven't really ever done that, then I would rather steer you toward something you're going to be able to sell and get your money back. So you're going to want to look at like the Zen 104, you're going to get your money back. If you can buy a used Seamaster or something, or if you can get a used Tudor. So like you can pick up, actually, if you're pretty savvy, you can probably pick up one of these guys if your wrist can support the 41, or you look at the 36. If you're patient and you're savvy and you're ready to pounce, you might be able to pick one of these up for about 2K. And that's a pretty versatile watch. See, Babyface Seattle says, Rob, question. You mentioned about a new coming Casio titanium camo models. Can you share more? Yes. There is a blue camo one coming out. I don't know the part number. And then there's a full red, non-camo, and it looks kind of shiny-ish, at least around this part, and then maybe it'll be a matte red. But it's basically like this watch, but it's full red. And I'm not sure when either of those are going to come out. There's production issues, I think, with everything that's going on. So I'm guessing maybe early next year. I don't think we're going to see them this year. We might see the blue camo this year, maybe. But the red one's probably going to be 2021. Terry. Yes, and if you want to try them, I think I actually have some, maybe. I get wrist claustrophobic with them because the way they hook in. Let me see if I can find it. All right, this is going to be hideous because I know a lot of you guys actually store your straps really nice. This is how I store my straps because I don't wear them. All right, here's one of those Nick Van Key ones. So I never could figure out how to wear the darn thing. It's super soft, pajama-ish. It is super elastic, so it would be super comfortable, right? But so pretend this is on your wrist, and one of your wrists is tied up, so you don't even have two hands to mess with it, right? So you're trying to get this unhooked. You're trying to get it unhooked. Okay, I got it. And maybe it's something I need to learn, and it would be fine. But this hook is like too much, I think. Because once it gets hooked, I mean, it's in there, and I get wrist claustrophobic over it. So I don't know if there's a technique you got to use to get it off or what. So, I mean, it's doable. But Terry, I'll send you this if you want to try it. I think I still have your address, but it is hand wash only, made in the USA sort of thing. So I'll send that to you. Oh, yeah, I guess maybe once you get it hooked, duh, I guess maybe just slide it off. Well, you know what? I'll let you figure it out. So I think I have at least this one. I might have more, but I'll send it to you. I kind of owe you anyway. I'll send you a little care package. Let's see. Rio, will I check out the new ceramic tunas? Yes. So when they come out, I'm not going to buy them from JDM. Not going to happen. I'm going to wait until they come out to the US. And then I could potentially even buy one because I actually really do like the tunas. And I prefer this handset more so than the new one. But I still want to check it out. So they're pretty dang cool. And I'm trying to decide even because tomorrow's Tuesday, so I was either going to wear, well, I kind of just wore the Tudor. I might wear the tuna or maybe titanium for Tuesday. So, I mean, technically, I usually put my next day watch on in the afternoon. So right now I could actually start wearing the tuna. And I do have the bracelet. Maybe I'll put it on bracelet. It still wears really good on strap. John V, Squale or Yema. I don't have a ton of experience with Yema other than I just opened this one up and just started playing with it. Nice looking watch, but first impressions, I would lean towards the Squale. But this one's quartz. I know they have automatic. These are pretty cool. They're unique. I don't see anybody else doing things exactly like they're doing. So it's going to be more of a personal taste if they're both about the same price point. So Daniel says, Rob, did you see the new Bulova? Maybe. I can't remember. New Actrons? I can't remember if I have or not. I probably did. I just didn't pay much attention. Clayton's asking, do I sleep with a watch on? No. I take it off and put it on the nightstand. What's that on the tan strap? Oh, this guy? This is, I need to do the video. I'm so far behind, guys. This is the Cobalt Phantom. And I was trying to do, because people had mentioned the original brand owner, Michael Cobalt. There's like some weird drama around his existence and his activity. He made some, or had made some crazy good watches. These are like phenomenal watches, and I'm pretty sure the case was actually made in the USA. I'm trying to find out exactly if that's true, but he got in some legal troubles with, I don't know, whatever he was doing. But the watches are actually really nice, and this thing runs spot on. It's got the ETA or Valjoux 7750. So, but check out that green. It's like in your face green. So. Okay, so Actron is becoming its own brand. I don't know. I'm not looking for vintage digital. So, Rob, did you see the new Seiko Save the Ocean Monster yet? Maybe I can't remember. Shoot. You still only carry squares as truck backup. Yes, Floridian. I have actually my work vehicle is a. It's buried in the center console. I haven't worn it in a long time. It's a 5610 positive display with a combi bracelet. That's my. I only have a few plastic squares anymore. I have that my spare truck watch, and then I have one that Billy Bob gave me. That's like a Glide tied one that's modded, I think, and then I have my Christmas square. Bob says, haven't seen you feature the new Laurier yet, or did I miss something? I don't know. I can't keep up, man. Gary, no, we didn't talk about the new Mantas. It's funny you bring that up because Justin, one of the owners of Manta, actually emailed me yesterday, last night-ish, and shared the press release with me. I, of course, didn't leak it or anything because it wasn't, it's up to them to release it. I'm not going to drop that information beforehand. So I'll get a hold of him, and I think they're on pre-order right now. I think the watch looks great. I know a lot of people are, it's basically what the, I forget the models, But it's basically they got rid of the Arabics, the numbers, and then did a different hand set on it. So I think it looks really clean and very classy looking. So I'm excited to potentially get that watch on the channel for video and share that with you guys. So boom, that is a solid question. Okay, listen, Black Bay guys, listen, Black Bay 58 versus Seamaster. Now I assume you're talking Black Bay 58 against this new Seamaster. So, and I can divide it directly down the middle. It's not going to be any more clear than this. Depends on your wrist size. So if you have a 7¼ inch wrist like me and you prefer a little bit of heft on your wrist, go with Seamaster. If you have a 7-inch or less wrist size, the Black Bay 58 blows everything away. The Black Bay 58 is legit that good. It is a great movement. The bezel action is superior over anybody else's 60 click that I've ever tried. The legibility is just perfect. I love snowflake hands. I'm in the camp that never hated them. I know there was a lot of people that hated them and then loved them, and maybe there's still people that just absolutely hate them. I've always liked snowflake hands, and I like the Black Bay 58, the original one with a gilded dial. I haven't checked out the blue one. I'm sure I would like it, but the original one, the gilded dial or the gilded hands and indices, 100% go to. They could play with that. They could put a green bezel on it, a red bezel on it. They could crank out so many different variations of that watch, and it would be awesome. So yeah, Woo 1979, you got 7 1/8 inch wrist. You could go, that's where it gets a little complicated. Should you go Seamaster? Should you go Black Bay 58? I think that line is basically 7-inch or less, go Black Bay 58. I think if you're 7¼ or above, get the Seamaster. That's just the way my mind works and how the watches feel on wrist. I wanted to keep that Black Bay 58 so much, but it just felt too small on my wrist. Alex, how can I get a Black Bay 58 without paying over retail? Go to your authorized dealer, tell them you're serious, give them money, put a down payment on it, and get put on a list. That's how you do it. If you don't like that authorized dealer, call some authorized dealers. Find one that works with you. Let's see. Woo, 1970. That's the problem. When you have 7 1/8 inch wrist, you have to have both of them. And they could coexist within a collection. And Clayton, again, so there's a whole nother topic there. Clayton has had, or actually still has, I think, the previous generation Seamaster, so the 41mm, which I think would directly better compete with the Black Bay 58. And I agree with you, Clayton, the Black Bay 58 is better than even the previous generation of Seamaster. On specs, I don't know, but just like an overall look, feel, and comfort, I think it is definitely better. Wow, Dane, interesting. So there's a case of where Dane's Pops has a 7-inch wrist, has both the Black Bay 58 and the Seamaster, and never wears the Black Bay 58. So he should sell me the Black Bay 58 for dirt cheap. I mean, I'm just trying to help him out. Just because I want to help out. Under 7-inch wrist. Interesting. Yeah, man, that's the Black Bay 58 is such a Goldilocks watch at 7-inch or under wrist size. It is like Tudor is not exploiting that watch to the extent they should. You know, they pushed all in on the like the Black Bay 41 divers and stuff like that. And I'm sure they sell a ton of those, even the GMTs and all that stuff. But the Black Bay 58, I mean, they can't keep them in stock. I don't know how many they're producing, but the Black Bay 58 is not tall at all. So here's the issue that Tudor does with a lot of their watches. Even this watch is actually really thin, but they do the slab side. So it kind of looks like it's thick. Guys, this is 11 millimeter. That does not look like 11 millimeter thick watch, does it? I just measured it live in front of you. It's 11 millimeter thin. That's a thin watch. But it doesn't look like it because it's flat on the side. And the Black Bay 58 kind of does the same thing, but the Black Bay 58 is thin. And even the early generations of Black Bay 41 divers, I did a video a long time ago of oh yeah, well, we can measure the Omega of the previous generation Seamaster against the Black Bay 41, and the Black Bay 41 looked thicker. That's about 13.65, but that's with the crystal. If we ditch the crystal, we're probably about 12, just under 12 and a half if you ditch the dome to the crystal. But with the crystal, it's 13 something. So that's a little bit thicker watch. Case profile has a lot to do. Like that looks like a thick watch, right? Check this out. Monsters are not that thick. They're 13 mil. A Seiko SKX is actually thicker than a Monster, but it doesn't look like it because it has a rounded case. See? 13.26, 27. But if you look at them side by side, you would swear the Monster's thicker. Well, maybe not. The SKX actually does look thicker. So case profile does have a lot to do with just the way the watch presents itself. All of the Tudors look thicker than they are. They all do. So the 58's 11.9. That's surprising. Well, it's got a box sapphire, though. If you were to exclude that box sapphire, it's probably closer to what this is, because this kind of has a flat sapphire, which is, I think, one of the main things I actually really like about the Black Bay 41, this guy here, is because it is only 11 millimeter. So, I don't know, have any of you guys tried to measure, like, excluding the box sapphire, how thick or how thin is the Black Bay 58 excluding the sapphire? Let's see. Hey, Rob, thoughts on the GM 6900 metal G-Shocks? I haven't checked one out yet, so I'll reserve my complete thoughts on it. But I'm not a fan of the 6900 anyway. So the metal 6900 just is a metal watch version of a watch that I don't like already. So I think they're awesome for people that collect 6900s. It's a must-have, but I don't really like them anyway. Kevin's asking thoughts on the new Montes. I think they look great. I'm talking to Justin. Hopefully I can get one in to check out because I think they look great. I'm not going to go buy one. Pretty much not in the mood to buy anything right now. Private. I love your username, Private. CW6C60 Mark III white. Awesome or not? You held it and owned it. Would appreciate your thoughts. I think the Mark III Christopher Ward C60 is probably one of the best value purchases that you can buy if your wrist can support that size watch, which it was kind of my test before I bought the Omega. Now, I got to the point where I could afford to buy the Omega by selling a bunch of watches. But if I had no intention of spending, say, $4,000 on buying the Omega, then the Christopher Ward, I think, is a legit watch to own and not be missing out on anything. It's a legit good watch. The movement runs great. The bezel action is phenomenal. The case construction, bracelet, and everything is so good. Buy them while you can on sale, though. You should be able to get like a $125 off. The other thing you can do with the Wards, because you're going to pay that tax, you got to keep the purchase price, if you're in the USA, under $800. So buy it on sale, buy it on the strap, and then buy the bracelet later separately on a separate transaction, and you won't pay tax on either one. I'm pretty sure you can get away with that. Just do them on 2 separate transactions. You're going to want the bracelet because the bracelet's really good. But buy it on the strap, keep the price way under 800, and then buy the bracelet later. Let's see, where are we at? Let's see, Quintin, best entry-level G-Shock square. Dude, just get the 5600E. That's like, what, 40 bucks? Sometimes if you wait till like before the holiday season, you can pick one up under 40. I've seen them as low as like 37 and stuff, so you have the UK tax, so it's okay. So you're in the UK and you're buying a Ward anyway. Listen, if you're thinking about getting a Ward and you actually live in the UK, dude, what are you asking me for? That watch is your brand. That is a watch that has done the come up and it's in your country. Go buy a Ward. It's silly not. If I lived in the UK, I would have a bunch of Wards. Big Guy's 45. Hello, can somebody tell me what kind of channel this one is? Big Guy 45. This channel is all about big guys and 45s. You've come to the right place. We're all big guys and we all carry 45s. And most of us, including myself, are actually 45 years old. Let's see. G30 for life. Lars, I just acquired the Frogman GW201 carbon fiber. Is that where? I'll have to look it up, man. I've never heard of it. And my buddy Michael, Desire 68, is not here to chime in on that. Rock the watch because they don't make a 46. I probably could sell used cars. Oh man, listen. You got to get over that logo. Especially on the white dial, it disappears. It's no big deal. They're not going to change that logo. They're proud of that brand, and they should be. It is a really good brand. You got to just do it, man. And if you buy it, like Craig said, if you get it with the 125 discount and you get the pricing good and everything like that, if later on you decide to flip it, you're probably going to do okay. They kind of hold their value not too bad. The logo, I think, bothered me before because everyone else said it bothered them. But after, I've only owned one. But after trying a ton of them, I don't have a problem with the logo at all. I think it's fine. Yes. Lyndon's picking up a Ward. Let's see. C60 Sapphire or the white. Listen, Lyndon, what is your wrist size? The white dial, 100% all day long. I did buy the C60 Sapphire. And for some reason, it just didn't do anything for me at all. I don't think I like the 40 millimeter. I think I have to go all 42. And Clayton has dreamed about and talked about that moon glow for a long time. I can't wait for the time he buys that and then flips it and sends it in to me so I get to see it. Okay. So you're 7-inch wrist, you're wearing the MM200. Man, you might go with the 40. But that 40 Sapphire, it looks and wears small. They need to make a white dial 40 millimeter. I think that was... Everybody needs to go send emails to Ward and say, listen, we want a white dial 40 millimeter. Because the white dial 42 on a 7-inch wrist, I mean, it looked kind of big even on my wrist at a 7 1/4. So Craig's going to pick up another one. You're going to get the black dial with the red bezel. That's a killer looking model. I like that one too. Got to wait for that 125. You know it's going to come too. It's silly not to wait. Big guy, you're still here. Wristwatches. Do you have a watch? Let's get you a watch, big guy. Craig's ready to go. PayPal on the standby. Let's see. There's a channel for just about anything these days. You ain't got that. Yeah, that's 100% right, man. And I'm a small fish, so I'm at like almost 40,000 subs. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm a small channel. That's a decent sized channel for like watches, right? But there's some channels out there way over 100,000 subs and pretty much just about watches. So, okay, talk about the out the front. Floyd, right? Floyd. So this was a gift from my good buddy Billy Bob. That's not his real name, by the way. This is a Spartan Auto Knives. And once this loads and everything like that, maybe I'll put a link to Spartan in the description. But I can't find on their website the blue line one anymore, but they do a ton of them. And I've had the Microtech, and the Microtech watches are really good. But the Spartan ones is very Microtech-like, but it's heavier for one. And I thought maybe the weight would not be great, but I actually prefer it now. I really like the weight of it. It's not something I'm going to carry a ton, but when I do, you know, it's going to be a special carry, right? The action on it is awesome, and there's like this coating on here. It's like a smooth rubberized coating or something. It gives just enough traction, but it'll still slide in and out of the pocket really good. And the action on this thing is phenomenal. Easy to, I mean, it's a fidget spinner for adults, right? So, and there's not much play in it. Most out the fronts do have a little bit of play in them. This one moves just a little bit. They kind of have to do that. The edge on it, I don't think it was crazy sharp to begin with. It needs to be sharpened. I'll probably do a full polish on it. But the action on it is great. I have 0 failures, and pretty much every day I snap this thing in and out because it's a fidget spinner for me. Glass breaker I could do without. I don't intend to be smashing any glass like that. But it has a nice, it's deep enough carry, but it's kind of weighty. But it's nice because when you operate it, it stays in hand, and it's a decent size. The Microtech I had was the UTX 85, so it was 85% the size of this. This is basically a Microtech. The full-size Microtech is basically what this mimics. But the finishing on there is blue and everything. It's really cool, but I don't think you can get this model now. So, and you got to check your local laws. A lot of places you're not allowed to have autos, or there's weird laws, different states. Michigan was actually kind of crazy. Now I can actually carry an auto. This blade is fine. You can't have a blade with an edge on both sides. So, but if your state allows you to carry an out the front auto, they're too freaking cool. And there's some cheaper brands. Like I forget what the price point on these were. Even these aren't crazy expensive, but there's like some cheap ones if you go to Blade HQ. So Washington says no auto. So I mean, you might be able to own one. Maybe you just can't carry it. I'm not sure what the rules are on that. That's how Michigan was before. You could own one, you just couldn't carry it. Now I can carry it, but not familiar with Guardian Tactical and a Hawk Deadlock. I'm kind of into knives. I mean, I'm into knives. I have a lot of knives, but not enough. Like there's so many really good knife channels out there, so I don't really want to bog the channel down with like talking about knives. But there's a ton of really cool knives. Illinois is if you have a fold knife, you can carry one. Oh, that's fine. That's how Michigan was for a long time. North Carolina, you can carry pretty much just about everything, it sounds like. And Michigan's kind of getting there, so. All right, guys, I'm coming up on an hour. Do you guys have any last minute questions or anything before I sign off? Yeah, Rock the Watch. I have not checked out a Chris Reeves Sabenza. I'm that's more than I want to spend. David, yes, I have looked at the new Manta. Justin, one of the owners of Manta, sent me the press release last night before they launched. I think it looks great. And I'll have to take a look at the new Seiko SBDC 101. I'm not sure what that is. Private, thanks for chiming in. I'll catch you on the next one. Big guy, yes, I do have some digitals with some tones. I actually have a Timex Pac-Man here on loan, and it actually plays the Pac-Man like video game theme song, so I'll do that soon. Thoughts on the NASA limited edition G-Shock Square? Bought it, owned it, never really wore it, sold it. I think they're cool. It's more of a collector type thing. I'm sure some guys wear them. Andrew, Notice or Borealis? Oh man, depends on what model. Because there's some Notice watches that I'm not 100% on board with, and there's some Borealis I'm not 100% on. The Borealis Adraga in Esterol, 100%. There's a couple others too, I forget. The Notice, oh shoot, I forget the brand or the models. It depends on what model you're looking at. Oh, Foyd is a firearm owner. So you have to have a firearm license to be able to carry a blade? That's messed up. Lars, thank you. I will try to keep up good content. Design. What do I think of the blue titanium square? The blue camel titanium square, I'm not sure I'm going to buy one. I'll probably end up buying it. I'm a sucker for squares. JG. Rob, best starter diver for $200, Seiko SKX. Yeah, if you can pick up a clean SKX for $200, that's not wrong. If you want to, spend a little bit more, it doesn't have the exact same feel, even though it's very, very similar. But you can pick up one of the Long Island watch models, one of the ISL models. You're going to get the lume ceramic bezel, you're going to get the sapphire crystal, you're going to get the upgraded movement and all that stuff. So potentially a Long Island SKX type variant. Yep, thanks for chiming in, Terry. Let's see. The Notice Contrail is really cool, or the Elispo. I would probably pick the Contrail over that one, but let's see. Trying to grab a few more here before I sign off. The Citizen NY0040, some of those NY08 008 series ones are really cool. They wear a little bit smaller than the SKX though. There's some romance, guys, seriously, with the SKX. Even if people compare the specs, the Islander watches over the SKX, I would still definitely have to have an SKX before I bought the Islander. And it's no offense to the Islander. I think they're great, but I would at least have to own an SKX. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do any orange monsters. All right, guys, I went over an hour. Thanks for chiming in. There's not a whole lot of lume on the table, but I'm going to kill the lights anyway. We're going to close you out with some lume. We do have some lume. The Orion actually has some, that's BGW9, fully loomed out. That's a great application. I'm happy to see that. Seamaster is always happy to show off a little bit. I mean, it's hard to beat the tuna. Seiko tuna, SBBN tuna is just a lume monster. And then, of course, there is the actual lume monsters from my buddy Jerry over at the 3D Print. I'll try to put a link to his Etsy store if you want to pick one up, one of these desk toys. Check them out. I'll see you guys in the next vid. Thanks for tuning in.